Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My dear students, how are you all? I hope that you are all fine by the grace of Allah. This is Roxana Parveen, Senior Lecturer, Department of Biology, Milestone College. Welcome you to today's online class on Chapter 10 from your subject Science. Today's topics are Newton's second law of motion, non-frictional forces, and different aspects of friction. After finishing the topics, we'll get to know the practical examples of the third law of motion and different types of non-frictional forces and their utilization and merits and demerits of different types of frictions. Well, let's get started with Newton's third law of motion. His third law states that for every action in nature, there are, equal and opposite reactions. In other words, if an object A exerts a force on object B, then object B also exerts the similar force, opposite force on object A. Sir Isaac Newton, in his third law of motion, has said, to every action force there is an equal and opposite reaction force. Action-reaction force always acts on each other, never acts on the same object. That means if object A applies force on object B, then object B will apply equal force on object A from the opposite direction. The reaction force will act so long as the action force remains active. If action ceases, reaction will also cease. See here, there are some practical examples of action and reaction force. You see that at the time of walking, when a man pushes the ground with the feet, ground also pushes him equally. That's why the people can walk on the ground. Here, this figure denotes that a boatman is pushing the boat with the bamboo stick. Here, the bamboo stick is pushing the force to the opposite to the direction of the boat moves. Here is the diagrammatic feature. So the easiest way to understand the Newton's third law is to understand how we walk. We can all walk, everyone walks without knowing what physics is behind it. But we can walk from static state. You actually have acceleration, which means force is being applied on you. But we all know that nobody applies force on us. We walk ourselves. Is that possible? Answer is no way. Okay. Here is the diagrammatic features of action and reaction force. You see the gun is firing, or something like this bullet is coming out of the gun. The same speed of the pressure is pushed on the pressure is put on the trigger, right? So here the reaction force, and here is the action force. You see accelerating force to the bullet, just opposite to the recoil force on the gun. Here we walk on the ground. You see action as foot pushes down and back. Here in the reaction, floor pushes up and forward. And the third diagram shows that the boy's feet exert force on the boat. Reaction is the boat exerts force on the feet. You see the reaction and action first. The easy diagram here is shown. Let's go to the non-frictional force. Other than touch or applying the force directly on the object, there are other non-frictional force. Okay, so what is non-frictional forces? The forces which are not in touch or directly is put on the object, these are called non-frictional forces. So there are some examples of non-frictional forces. First of all, we can consider the gravitational force. This is the cosmic universe. All objects, due to the mass, attract every other object by a force which is called gravitation. Because of this gravitation, stars in the galaxies rotate or the earth moves around the sun. The moon moves around the earth. When the gravitation of earth works on us, we call it gravity. This gravity pulls us downwards toward the center of the earth, and due to this, we have the feeling of weight. In physics, gravity is one of the amazing forces. Any object having mass attracts the other objects by its force. You see, the gravity attracts the everything, falling on the ground. We see everything downward. Okay, this is for an example. This is an apple tree. An apple is falling on the ground here, okay, by the force of gravity. There is another example, that is electromagnetic force. When you comb your hair and then you can see some paper or pieces attracting towards the comb, that means with that kind of attraction and distractions of the one magnet with another were sometimes done by many of us. Okay, so though the forces of electricity and magnet seem to be separate, actually these two are same. They are only seen separately. Only this force can both attract and distract, while others can only attract but cannot distract. It is much stronger than gravity, that is 10 to the power 36 times or trillion times stronger. You will certainly be able to guess that this statement is true, because when you pull paper pieces by attracting with a comb after combing your hair, the whole earth with its gravity produced by the mass tries to pull it up. But a little electricity of your comb defeats the whole gravity of this enormous earth. Can you imagine? Okay, there is another example that is called non-frictional force, weak nuclear force. Okay, this is considered weak because it is weaker, about trillion times weaker than the electromagnetic force, but it is not as weak as gravitation at all. Gravitation and electromagnetic force can work from any distance, but this force within a short distance, that means 10 inverse 18 meter, this weak nuclear force is the cause of the beta ray or electron that is emitted by radioactive nucleus. Well, let's know something about the non-frictional force. What is, strong nuclear force? We got to know the weak nuclear force, but this is the strongest force in the cosmic universe. It is 100 times stronger than electromagnetic force, but also works within a short distance, that is very short distance, 10 inverse 15 meter. This very strong force works on proton and neutron. You know what is proton and neutron in the atom? Yes, of course you know. Okay, so this very strong force works on proton and neutron in the nucleus, which stays at the center of an atom and keeps them together. As they cling together with strong force, much energy is stored in it. So diving big nucleus or joining small nucleus due to this force, much energy can be produced. For this reason, nucleus bomb is powerful. This force is a product of light and heat obtained from the sun. Scientists believe that the origin of these four forces is same, and they are trying to explain them with a single formula. It has already been possible to explain electromagnetic and weak nuclear force with the same formula, and it is an epoch-making process or epoch-making success of theoretical physics. So, if you wish, you can say that there are three types of forces: gravitation, electroweak, and nuclear force. No one can find fault with it. So scientists are working to unify all of these fundamental forces. Okay, so contact and non-contact forces. Let's know the basic. Okay, when you use force on your daily life, you may suppose that some forces require contact for use, such as lifting heavy objects with crane, pushing anything, or stopping of a moving thing with friction. On the contrary, you have noticed for applying some forces contact is not required, such as falling of a thing downward for gravitation, attraction or magnetic forces. Therefore, we can divide forces into two types, contact and non-contact forces. As an example of contact forces, we shall discuss the frictional force. Even though we are discussing frictional force as an example of contact force, you must have understood that there, where we supposed to have touched, there's actually atom and molecule of one another. Their rotating electrons are not working with their direct contact, rather they are working with another through electromagnetic force. In other words, if we think of atomic nuclear level, then all the forces are non-contact forces. One atom attracts or distracts another atom, keeping a distance. Literally, they are not to be touched. Okay, so let's go to the frictional force. Okay, we all know what is this in practical life, and we can cut the wood by some saws. We can push the table, or we can try to move any object. These are all examples of frictional forces. However, let's consider a wooden piece of a table, and we are trying to create an acceleration by applying force on it, as it's shown in the figure 10.06 from your textbook. Of course, we are applying force F from the mass from left to right. You see, from left to right. It will be seen that due to the friction of the wooden piece with the table, a friction force small f is developed in the wooden piece, and this is lowering the applied force acting from right to left. Okay, so in this figure, applying force on the mass, opposite kind of frictional force may be developed. Here, this figure denotes that if a force is applied on a mass, then another force may be developed in the reverse direction due to friction. Okay, so here some types of frictions: static, sliding, then rolling frictions, and fluid friction. What is static friction? The static friction is the frictional force that develops when two objects are at rest relative to other is called static friction. Due to static friction, we can walk, our legs or shoe sole is bounded to the ground, and we don't slide. These are the practical example of the static friction. So what is sliding friction? The frictional force that creates when an object is in motion relative to another object is called sliding friction. When anyone grips the brake of a cycle, it presses the wheel and ceases the motion of rotating wheel due to sliding friction. The sliding friction depends on the weight of the moving body. The more the weight, the more the sliding friction. Okay? So now the rolling friction. You see, uses of parachute, Apollo 15 is landing on the sea. Okay, so this is the example of the fluid friction. However, the frictional force that is experienced by an object when it moves in a liquid or gaseous substance is called fluid friction. When anyone jumps from a plane with a parachute, then due to the fluid friction of air, he becomes down slowly. Okay, what is the rolling friction? When an object moves by rolling or revolving on a surface, then the friction that develops is called rolling friction. Among all frictional forces, it is less. So we attach wheel in all kind of vehicle. It is very easy to pull suitcases attached with wheels. If suitcases have no wheels, it becomes very difficult for us to pull it on the floor. Okay, so how could we reduce the friction? Okay, sometimes friction creates some problems in our daily life, and we need to control it. So some measures we can take to reduce the friction. These are smoothing the surfaces as possible where friction takes place. In smooth surface, sliding friction is less. So some sort of greasy materials such as oil, mobile or grease or lubricants can be used. The friction is reduced to great extent if lubricant is used in between two surfaces. Number 3, using wheel friction can be reduced. Okay, if wheel is used, we can do work by very small rolling friction instead of large sliding friction. It is possible to reduce friction to a great extent by using ball bearings in the rotating wheel, using the rolling friction of the small steel balls instead of the direct friction. Okay, the number 4 point can be mentioned as the design of the fast moving vehicles like car, plane is done in such a way that the wind can flow over the streamlined surface without making any friction, thus increasing the speed. To increase the density of the air or water, to increase the frictional area in air or water, and number 7 is to remove wheel or ball bearing. How could we increase the friction? Of course, number 1 point is roughing the two surfaces just opposite to the controlling, pressing the two surfaces more tightly, make the surface stationary by stopping the motion which is present in the two frictional surfaces, because static friction is more than the sliding friction. Number 4 is making grooves or waving on the frictional surfaces, then it can grip the bottom tightly. If there is a water or liquid it enters to the groove, thus increasing the friction on the surface. Okay, to increase the density of air or water, to increase the frictional area in water, to remove the wheel by removing wheel or ball bearing. Okay, these are the controlling, increasing friction materials. Okay, so why friction is called a necessary evil? Some advantages and disadvantages are there. Some advantages are: number 1, of course, friction enables us to walk freely. It helps to support leather against the wall. It becomes possible to transfer one form of energy to another. Objects can be piled up without slipping. And lastly, brakes of vehicles work due to friction. What are the negative sides? It always resists the motion. No extra energy is required to overcome it. It causes wear and tear of machines. It decreases the life expectancy of moving parts of vehicles. Since friction is very useful in some cases while harmful in some cases, friction is also called the necessary evil. This point actually is not the point 4. We can just conclude it by writing these sentences. Okay, that means there are two sides too. Right, we are up to the end of the class. After learning this topic, we have to go through the books intensively, and we need to practice all the exercises in the books, and we need to follow the test papers. Okay, now some homeworks you may complete at your home. Number 1 is learn and write the advantages and disadvantages of friction in daily life. Explain different types of non-contact forces. And thirdly, how friction helps in different sectors in the practical life. Analyze with examples. Thank you very much.